The philosopher who solved the meaning of life. Leo Tolstoy, Stoicism. To know others is intelligence. To know yourself is true wisdom. Lao Tzu. This profound quote gets to the heart of one of life's most enduring questions. Why are we here? It's a question that even the greatest minds have struggled with, and none more famously than Leo Tolstoy. Despite his immense success as a writer, with masterpieces like War and Peace and Anna Karenina, Tolstoy faced a personal crisis in his 50s that left him questioning the meaning of life. He had wealth, fame, and family, but he felt lost. His story reminds us that no amount of external achievement can fill the void we may feel inside. In today's world, many of us face similar struggles, searching for meaning, questioning our purpose, and wondering how to find peace amidst the chaos. So, how can we apply the timeless principles of Stoicism and the lessons from Tolstoy's life to find our own answers and create a more fulfilling life? Let's explore how these ideas can help us navigate life's challenges with greater wisdom, inner peace, and resilience. If you're ready to explore a philosophy that has stood the test of time, subscribe to Stoic in Your Life and leave a comment sharing how you find meaning in your life. Let's begin this journey together. Number 1. Youth and religious skepticism. Leo Tolstoy's journey toward grappling with life's ultimate questions began with a childhood overshadowed by profound loss. Orphaned at an early age, Tolstoy bore the emotional scars of losing both parents, leaving him to grow up in the opulent yet hollow environment of the Russian aristocracy. While surrounded by privilege, his world felt void of true security and affection, creating a lingering sense of abandonment that shaped his perception of life. This early exposure to pain and impermanence fostered in him an acute skepticism toward the comforting narratives offered by religion and culture, which often promised an idealized, suffering-free existence. Tolstoy's early disillusionment wasn't just a reaction to his personal grief. It was the seed of a deeper philosophical inquiry. His pain became the crucible in which his lifelong search for meaning was forged. "What is the point of life?" and he would ask, echoing the Stoic philosopher Epictetus's wisdom. Men are not disturbed by things, but by the view they take of them. Tolstoy's doubts propelled him toward intellectual exploration, where reason became his guiding compass. His journey reminds us that suffering, though painful, can be a teacher, urging us to confront our beliefs and redefine meaning in a way that resonates deeply with the human condition. For those navigating their own crises in modern life, Tolstoy's early struggles parallel a timeless Stoic principle: the idea that adversity can be a catalyst for personal growth. Modern Stoicism teaches us that instead of avoiding pain or seeking constant reassurance from external sources, we must turn inward, examining our responses and finding resilience within. As Seneca advises, difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. This approach can be particularly relevant today, as we often face societal pressures to project an image of perfection or unwavering happiness, when in reality, embracing our vulnerability and asking hard questions can lead to authentic self-discovery. Leo Tolstoy's journey through life was marked by a deep and relentless search for meaning, and in this pursuit, he confronted not only society's illusions but also his own beliefs. As he aged and grappled with the profound complexities of existence, Tolstoy began to see traditional Christianity not as a refuge but as a facade. To him, its rituals and doctrines seemed hollow, offering convenient answers that sidestepped the raw, piercing questions of human suffering and mortality. How could an omnipotent and loving God coexist with the glaring injustices and pain that define so much of life? This question haunted him, pushing him further away from the comforting but, in his eyes, superficial assurances of salvation promised by religion. Tolstoy's rejection of Christianity was not born merely of intellectual rebellion. It stemmed from a deep emotional struggle with the contradictions he saw in the world. His exploration led him to conclude that religious institutions often avoided confronting the truths that mattered most: why we suffer, what death means, and how we should live in the face of these realities. This inner turmoil wasn't just philosophical, it was profoundly personal, shaping his view of life as he sought to find meaning beyond dogma. Yet Tolstoy's journey was not one of despair. It was, instead, a courageous exploration of truth, a refusal to settle for easy answers. Think of someone in today's world, perhaps a person who has built their life around a promising career, only to realize that success and wealth haven't brought the fulfillment they expected. They begin questioning the systems they once trusted, realizing that societal norms often obscure deeper truths. Like Tolstoy, they might find themselves wondering, is there something more? Am I missing the point of life entirely? Tolstoy reminds us that such questions are not a sign of failure but of awakening. His disillusionment wasn't the end of his spiritual journey, but a necessary stage in uncovering what he called the Stoic secrets of life, the ability to confront suffering, embrace simplicity, and live authentically despite life's contradictions. Tolstoy's wisdom challenges us to think deeply about what truly matters. Are we clinging to beliefs or systems because they are comfortable, or are we brave enough to seek answers even when they unsettle us? What if life's meaning lies not in avoiding pain, but in understanding it, facing it, and growing through it? His life teaches us that we must look beyond surface-level promises, whether they come from religion, success, or societal norms, to find a truth that resonates deeply within us. And that truth often begins with a willingness to let go of illusions and face the uncomfortable realities of life. Tolstoy's rejection of traditional Christianity wasn't a rejection of spirituality. It was a call to authenticity. He believed that life's meaning is not something handed to us, but something we must discover through our struggles, our questions, and our courage to live fully. What might we uncover if we dared to look at life as Tolstoy did, not with fear, but with curiosity and resilience? His journey reminds us that the answers we seek are often hidden in the very contradictions we try to avoid. Embrace the questions, face the discomfort, and perhaps you'll uncover your own Stoic secrets, a life lived with purpose, courage, and profound inner peace. Leo Tolstoy's intellectual environment during his formative years profoundly shaped his philosophical journey, particularly his evolving skepticism. Immersed in the ideas of the Enlightenment and rationalism, Tolstoy encountered a worldview that championed reason, empirical observation, and individual inquiry while questioning religious authority and dogma. These ideas resonated deeply with him, challenging the spiritual certainties of his youth and prompting a critical reassessment of traditional religious doctrines. His education encouraged an insatiable curiosity, propelling him into the realms of philosophy, literature, and science to grapple with life's ultimate questions. Yet this intellectual odyssey was marked by a persistent tension. The more he studied, the less satisfied he became with the answers offered by religion or conventional wisdom. For Tolstoy, human existence seemed increasingly grounded in tangible, observable realities rather than in abstract theological claims. This struggle, however, led him into an unsettling paradox. While reason illuminated the limitations of dogmatic systems, it also left him wrestling with uncertainty and existential despair, as he yearned for a more profound sense of meaning and purpose. As Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Tolstoy's environment and introspection colored his soul with both skepticism and a yearning for truth. This narrative holds relevance today in the era of modern Stoicism, as many of us, like Tolstoy, find ourselves navigating a complex intellectual landscape where traditional answers often feel inadequate. In a world filled with scientific advancements and competing ideologies, the search for meaning can feel overwhelming. The Stoic principle of prohairesis, focusing on what is within our control and aligning our actions with reason and virtue, provides a grounding philosophy for those adrift in uncertainty. Tolstoy's quest, though fraught with doubt, mirrors a modern struggle, reconciling intellectual curiosity with the desire for a stable foundation in life. For us, this means turning inward and cultivating clarity amidst the noise, as Epictetus advised. Do not seek to have events happen as you want them to, but instead want them to happen as they do, and your life will go well. By embracing this perspective, we can temper the chaos of intellectual dissonance with the steadiness of rational acceptance, finding purpose in living virtuously, even if ultimate answers remain elusive. In modern life, Tolstoy's journey reminds us to balance the pursuit of knowledge with the grounding force of ethical principles. While it is vital to question, learn, and grow, it is equally important to acknowledge the limits of our understanding without succumbing to despair. Modern Stoicism, echoing Tolstoy's realization, emphasizes that meaning arises not from external certainties, but from the way we engage with life's challenges. To the audience who may feel torn between skepticism and belief, take heart in the wisdom of Seneca. As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters. By living with intention, guided by reason and virtue, we can find fulfillment not in resolving life's mysteries, but in facing them with courage and grace. Number 2. The midlife crisis at 50. At the age of 50, Leo Tolstoy stood at the edge of an abyss, a profound existential crisis that forced him to question everything he once held dear. Despite being celebrated worldwide for his literary masterpieces War and Peace and Anna Karenina, despite his wealth, his loving family, and the recognition of his intellectual genius, Tolstoy felt an emptiness so profound that it threatened to engulf him. This was no ordinary dissatisfaction. It was a reckoning with the deeper truths of existence. Tolstoy, who had once found joy in achievement and comfort in societal acclaim, now faced a chilling realization. The very things that society venerates, success, material wealth, and personal legacy, were fleeting, hollow, and unable to withstand the inevitability of mortality. He wrote candidly about this despair in a confession, describing how the questions, "What is the meaning of my life?" and "Why do I live if all will be forgotten?" gnawed at his soul like an unrelenting tide. This existential reckoning was not just intellectual, it was deeply personal, and the weight of it left Tolstoy feeling isolated, even from his family. Like many in modern times who confront a midlife crisis, Tolstoy wrestled with the realization that the life he had so carefully constructed seemed meaningless in the face of death. In this period of darkness, Tolstoy considered ending his own life, a testament to the consuming nature of his despair. Yet rather than succumbing to nihilism, he turned inward, embarking on a courageous journey of self-exploration. He sought answers in philosophy, religion, science, and the simple lives of ordinary people. His quest echoed the wisdom of Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius, who wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Tolstoy began to see that the meaning he sought could not be found in the external trappings of life, but in an internal alignment with deeper truths. Observing peasants who lived simple lives yet found contentment, he realized that happiness and meaning were tied not to wealth or achievement, but to how one approaches life's inherent struggles. Tolstoy's transformation serves as a reminder that even in our darkest moments, we hold the capacity to reframe our existence through introspection, perspective, and an alignment with what truly matters. For those of us navigating modern life, Tolstoy's journey offers profound lessons, particularly in the age of modern Stoicism, which invites us to apply ancient wisdom to contemporary challenges. In a world fixated on external validation, career milestones, social media applause, material acquisitions, many find themselves echoing Tolstoy's questions about purpose and legacy. The relentless chase for success often leaves us disillusioned, wondering if the life we're building aligns with our true values. The Stoics teach us to confront this existential tension by focusing on what is within our control and finding purpose in virtue, service, and the cultivation of inner peace. Seneca reminds us, It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Instead of spiraling into despair over what lies beyond our reach, we can redirect our energy toward creating meaning through the small intentional acts that bring alignment to our lives. Tolstoy's eventual embrace of spirituality and simplicity underscores a critical insight. The search for meaning often requires a surrender of ego. In recognizing the limits of reason and materialism, he found solace in the timeless truths of human connection, compassion, and humility. This mirrors the Stoic principle of amor fati, love of fate, accepting and embracing life's challenges as part of a greater whole. For Tolstoy, the realization that even the mundane rhythms of life, the turning of seasons, the smile of a child, the effort of honest labor, were imbued with meaning allowed him to emerge from his crisis with a renewed sense of purpose. His story encourages us to pause in our own lives and reflect. Are we chasing shadows, or are we living in alignment with what truly matters? Are we, like Tolstoy, prepared to face the existential questions head-on and reshape our perspective when life seems overwhelming? In today's world, where midlife crises often manifest as abrupt career changes, extravagant purchases, or even existential despair, Tolstoy's experience is a powerful reminder of the importance of stepping back to assess our priorities. Modern Stoicism offers practical tools to navigate these transitions. By practicing gratitude for what we have, embracing impermanence, and striving to live according to reason and virtue, we can build a foundation of inner peace that withstands the turbulence of external change. As Epictetus wisely said, "Man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems." Tolstoy's turning point, his decision to seek meaning beyond the superficial, shows us that the answers we seek are often closer than we think, found not in grand gestures but in the quiet moments where we align with our deeper selves. Tolstoy's life exemplifies the transformative power of introspection and resilience. His midlife crisis, which could have consumed him, became a catalyst for growth and a richer understanding of life. His story reminds us that even in times of despair, we have the capacity to seek answers, to find purpose, and to realign our lives in ways that bring lasting fulfillment. For those navigating their own existential crises in modern times, Tolstoy and the principles of modern Stoicism together offer a roadmap. Confront life's uncertainties, embrace simplicity, and seek meaning not in what you achieve but in how you live. Are you ready to embrace a new perspective and begin your own journey toward deeper fulfillment? If you feel like you are at a crossroads of personal transformation, join us on this journey. Comment, "I am a new warrior," or "I want to join this journey," to discover how the timeless wisdom of Stoicism can help guide you through life's challenges. Be sure to watch until the end, as we have many more insights to share that can help you navigate these profound questions with clarity and resilience. Number 3. The paths to answers. Leo Tolstoy, one of the greatest literary minds of all time, wrestled deeply with the question that haunts every human soul. What is the meaning of life? He was not content to simply exist in the shadow of this mystery, as many do, by distracting himself with life's fleeting pleasures or drowning out its absurdities with the noise of routine. For some, this method of living, ignoring the deeper questions about life, death, and purpose, can feel like an acceptable path. Tolstoy observed that many people cope with the absurdity of existence by embracing the distractions of their daily lives, finding solace in temporary joys without ever looking deeper. It's a common response even today to a reality that can often feel chaotic and meaningless. Philosophers like Albert Camus explored this approach, suggesting that while life may be inherently absurd, there is value in embracing that absurdity, even finding meaning in the struggle itself. Yet for Tolstoy, this wasn't enough. He couldn't accept the idea of simply existing without grappling with the deeper truths that gnawed at his soul. To him, such ignorance wasn't a solution, but an evasion of life's most profound questions. Imagine for a moment a modern parallel. A young entrepreneur who spends every waking moment chasing success, filling their life with work, accolades, and constant motion, all the while avoiding moments of stillness that might force them to confront their inner emptiness. On the surface, they appear fulfilled, but beneath that facade, there's a creeping realization that no amount of money or achievement can provide the answers they seek. Tolstoy's struggle was no different, and in this way, his journey speaks to us across time. He recognized that his nature, like that of many introspective individuals, made it impossible to ignore these existential dilemmas. Instead of running from them, he chose to confront them, asking himself the hard questions that so many fear to face. Why are we here? What happens after we die? Is there a meaning beyond what we can see and touch? Tolstoy's quest for meaning teaches us an invaluable lesson. Avoidance only deepens the void. When we ignore life's big questions, we may temporarily soothe our discomfort, but the weight of those unanswered mysteries inevitably resurfaces. What if, instead of distracting yourself with work, entertainment, or endless goals, you pause to ask, what truly matters to me? This is where Tolstoy found his strength, and it's also where the ancient Stoics, masters of resilience and introspection, found theirs. Both philosophies encourage us to stop and reflect on the impermanence of life, to face its challenges with courage, and to focus on what is within our control. By doing so, we uncover what Tolstoy called the paths to answers. Here's where Stoic secrets come into play. The Stoics believed in accepting the natural order of the universe while aligning their lives with virtue and reason. Tolstoy, inspired by such ideals, discovered that seeking meaning isn't about finding a single universal answer, but about living a life rooted in principles that bring purpose and clarity. This perspective is transformative in today's world, where so many of us feel lost in a sea of distractions, unanchored by anything enduring. It prompts a crucial question. Are we searching for meaning in the right places? Consider the story of a modern artist who, like Tolstoy, battled existential despair. After years of creating work for external validation, they reached a breaking point, questioning whether their art had any real value. It wasn't until they stopped chasing applause and began creating for the joy of expression itself that they found peace and purpose. Much like Tolstoy, they discovered that meaning arises not from external rewards, but from living authentically and intentionally. What can we learn from Tolstoy's relentless pursuit of answers? First, we must acknowledge the discomfort of life's questions rather than avoiding them. Second, we need to shift our focus from external distractions to inner reflection, asking ourselves what principles we want to live by. We must embrace the idea that meaning is not something we find, but something we create through the way we live, the choices we make, and the values we uphold. By doing so, we align ourselves with the wisdom of both Tolstoy and the Stoics, unlocking Stoic secrets that can help us navigate life's most profound challenges. What would it look like if you embraced this mindset today? What might you discover about yourself and your purpose? Perhaps, like Tolstoy, you'd find that the answers you seek aren't as far away as they seem. Leo Tolstoy's reflections on the pursuit of pleasure offer profound insights into the human search for meaning, particularly in an age dominated by materialism and self-indulgence. In his younger years, Tolstoy was drawn to a lifestyle of luxury and enjoyment, finding temporary satisfaction in wealth, relationships, and the pleasures of the senses. This approach, akin to the philosophy of Epicureanism, which advocates for the pursuit of pleasure as the highest good, seemed for a time to mask the deeper existential questions that haunted him. Yet as Tolstoy matured, he began to see the inherent emptiness in this path. Pleasures, though sweet in the moment, proved fleeting, much like the honey in his famous parable from a confession. In this parable, Tolstoy describes a man clinging to a branch above a dark abyss, momentarily distracted by drops of honey dripping from the branch. The sweetness provides temporary solace but does nothing to address the inevitability of his precarious position. Similarly, Tolstoy realized that indulgence in worldly pleasures served only as a distraction, failing to provide lasting fulfillment or answers to life's ultimate questions. As he grew increasingly disillusioned, he rejected the notion that a life centered on pleasure could offer true meaning, recognizing instead that such a pursuit left the soul hollow and unfulfilled. Tolstoy's critique of pleasure resonates powerfully in today's world, where the pursuit of material success and sensory gratification often dominates our lives. Modern Stoicism, with its emphasis on rational self-control and virtue, offers a counterbalance to this tendency. As Epictetus wisely observed, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. By seeking happiness in fleeting pleasures, we enslave ourselves to external circumstances and become vulnerable to dissatisfaction when these pleasures fade. Tolstoy's journey reminds us of the need to look beyond transient joys and focus instead on what brings lasting peace and purpose. For those struggling to find meaning in the face of life's hardships, this perspective offers a vital lesson. True fulfillment arises not from indulgence, but from aligning our lives with values that transcend the momentary and superficial. In the context of modern life, where instant gratification often takes precedence, Tolstoy's disillusionment with pleasure serves as a call to introspection. The conveniences of technology, the allure of luxury, and the constant pursuit of entertainment often mirror the distractions Tolstoy himself faced. Yet, as he discovered, the more we chase pleasure, the more elusive contentment becomes. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, emphasized this in his Meditations. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This timeless wisdom encourages us to cultivate inner resilience and seek meaning within ourselves, rather than in external possessions or experiences. For those navigating the pressures of modern society, adopting such principles can be transformative. By embracing the tenets of modern Stoicism, which advocates for living virtuously and focusing on what we can control, we can find a deeper sense of purpose and tranquility amid life's distractions. Tolstoy's rejection of a life devoted to pleasure underscores the importance of engaging with life's deeper questions. It is not wrong to enjoy life's sweetness, but as Tolstoy realized, these fleeting moments cannot bear the weight of our existential longing. Instead, we must strive to live with integrity, guided by principles that foster enduring contentment. To the audience seeking answers in today's complex world, consider the words of Seneca. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor. By shifting our focus from external pleasures to internal growth, we can cultivate a life of meaning and fulfillment that transcends the fleeting distractions of the material world. Leo Tolstoy's confrontation with despair brought him to a crossroads, one where the shadow of suicide loomed as an enticing but ultimately hollow escape. For Tolstoy, the notion of ending one's life seemed at first a tempting resolution to the suffering and existential confusion that had consumed him. In the face of life's seeming meaninglessness, the finality of death appeared to offer a cessation of pain. However, as he wrestled with this thought, Tolstoy realized that such a choice was a surrender, not just to despair but also to the deeper questions that demanded exploration. His reflection echoed the wisdom of the Stoics, particularly Marcus Aurelius, who wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Tolstoy understood that while life was fraught with suffering, to abandon it was to forfeit the possibility of finding meaning, a possibility that remained alive as long as he continued to search. This realization marked a pivotal moment in his journey, as he rejected the finality of despair in favor of the difficult yet rewarding process of introspection and spiritual growth. In today's world, where depression and existential crises are alarmingly common, Tolstoy's rejection of suicide offers a powerful lesson. The challenges we face, whether they stem from personal loss, professional setbacks, or the relentless pressures of modern life, can make us feel as though the pain is insurmountable. Modern Stoicism, a philosophy that integrates ancient wisdom into contemporary struggles, teaches us that while we cannot always control the hardships life throws our way, we can control our response. As Epictetus wisely stated, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Tolstoy's choice to continue seeking meaning, despite his despair, reminds us of our own capacity to endure and to find purpose even in life's darkest moments. For those grappling with similar feelings, the key lies not in turning away from life's difficulties, but in confronting them with courage and curiosity. Like Tolstoy, we can use these moments of despair as opportunities for growth. The search for meaning is not easy. It demands introspection, the willingness to challenge our assumptions, and the courage to embrace uncertainty. Yet it is through this process that we grow stronger, finding clarity and purpose in the very struggles that once seemed insurmountable. In rejecting the path of despair, Tolstoy chose to see life not as a problem to be solved, but as a mystery to be explored. A perspective that resonates deeply with the principles of modern Stoicism, which teaches us to accept life's imperfections while striving to live virtuously and meaningfully. Tolstoy's story reminds us that even in moments of despair, life holds the potential for transformation. For those navigating their own crises, his journey serves as a beacon of hope, illustrating that meaning is not something handed to us, but something we actively create through our choices and actions. By choosing to seek answers rather than surrendering to despair, we honor not only our own resilience, but also the intrinsic value of life itself. His decision to persevere underscores the truth that every moment we continue to seek, to question, and to grow is a victory over hopelessness, a truth that can guide us as we strive to find meaning in our own lives. Leo Tolstoy grappled with a profound state of human suffering he called existential limbo, a condition where people find themselves caught between recognizing life's futility and lacking the energy or will to act on that realization. Imagine this. You're standing in quicksand, not sinking fast enough to panic but too immobilized to escape. That's what Tolstoy observed in those who saw life's meaninglessness, but didn't know how to respond. They lived in a kind of passive resignation, aware of the inevitability of death and the seeming absurdity of existence, yet paralyzed by fear or despair. It's not that they chose to embrace life's absurdity like Camus suggested, or actively sought meaning like Tolstoy eventually did. Instead, they remained stuck, unable to move forward or find peace. This emotional and spiritual paralysis, as Tolstoy saw it, was the weakest form of existence, marked by neither hope nor effort. It left people trapped in their suffering, spiraling endlessly without progress or resolution. And Tolstoy feared this state deeply because he knew how easy it was to slide into this limbo when life's bigger questions feel overwhelming. Now consider a modern example. Picture someone scrolling endlessly through social media, fully aware of how empty and unfulfilling it feels, yet unable to stop. They know they're wasting time and numbing themselves, but they can't summon the energy to break the cycle. Their awareness of the problem only deepens their frustration, but without action, nothing changes. This mirrors the existential limbo Tolstoy described, an awareness of suffering and futility, but no meaningful attempt to rise above it. Perhaps you've been there yourself, caught between wanting more from life and feeling too drained or uncertain to pursue it. Tolstoy's insights remind us that this limbo isn't just a temporary rut. It can become a way of life if we're not careful, leaving us stuck in a space where we're neither fully alive nor truly resigned to our fate. What's the way out of this paralysis? Tolstoy believed it started with a conscious choice to reject passivity and pursue meaning, no matter how daunting that search might feel. For him, the key was looking beyond himself, turning to faith, philosophy, and the shared human quest for purpose. The Stoics offer similar guidance. They teach us to focus on what is within our control and to cultivate inner resilience through discipline and reflection. This is one of the Stoic secrets that can transform our perspective. Instead of succumbing to despair over life's uncontrollable aspects, we should center our energy on what we can change, our actions, our mindset, and our response to challenges. Imagine how different the social media scroller's life might look if they used that time to explore a new skill, connect meaningfully with others, or simply reflect on their values. Small, intentional steps can pull us out of limbo and set us on a path toward growth. But the question remains, what will you do when you find yourself at this crossroads? Will you let the awareness of life's struggles paralyze you, or will you choose to act, even if the path ahead isn't clear? Tolstoy ultimately rejected existential limbo because he recognized that staying stuck was its own form of despair, a life lived without purpose or direction. His determination to find meaning, even when the answers seemed elusive, offers us a roadmap for navigating similar moments. First, acknowledge the discomfort and face it head-on. Second, take action, no matter how small, to shift your focus toward what truly matters. And finally, embrace the wisdom of thinkers like the Stoics and Tolstoy, who remind us that meaning isn't something we wait to discover. It's something we create through the choices we make each day. The lesson is clear. Life's biggest questions can leave us feeling lost, but we are not powerless. The act of seeking, of moving forward even when it feels difficult, is what gives life its meaning. Ask yourself, are you ready to take that step? To leave behind the paralysis of existential limbo and embrace the possibility of growth? It's not easy, but the alternative, remaining stuck, is no life at all. By harnessing Stoic secrets and Tolstoy's unwavering resolve, you can find purpose, even in the face of life's uncertainties. Where will your journey take you next? Have you ever felt lost in the search for meaning like Tolstoy did? Do you think facing life's big questions head-on leads to growth, or do you find distractions a safer path? Comment yes if you're ready to confront life's deeper questions, or comment 1 if you believe it's better to seek temporary relief. Make sure to watch till the end, because the last 2 insights might surprise you with their wisdom. Number 4. A turning point. Leo Tolstoy's life underwent a dramatic shift during a deep period of existential questioning, where he confronted the emptiness that came with material success and intellectual pursuits. Seeking meaning, he turned his focus to the rural peasants of Russia, whose lives, despite being marked by hardship and suffering, seemed filled with a quiet resilience and purpose. What struck Tolstoy most was their simple, unwavering faith in God, a faith that wasn't based on complex philosophy but on a lived experience of the divine. This faith gave them an anchor, a sense of meaning that remained steadfast even in the toughest times. Tolstoy realized that their spiritual grounding gave them a strength and peace that he, with all his wealth and education, had not found. The more he observed, the more he saw that their faith was not an escape from reality, but a way to endure it with dignity and grace. This insight became a turning point in his own search for meaning. His reliance on logic and reason, the pillars of modern intellectual life, had only deepened his despair. But the peasant's spiritual understanding seemed to answer life's deepest questions without getting lost in endless analysis. This mirrors a core principle of modern Stoicism. Enduring life's challenges often requires looking beyond material and intellectual solutions to find inner strength. By observing the peasants, Tolstoy began to internalize what Epictetus had taught long before. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. The peasants' contentment came not from what they owned or achieved, but from their connection to something greater, a lesson Tolstoy began to embrace. In today's world, where many of us chase success, wealth, or intellectual accomplishments, we often forget to ground ourselves in simple truths and spiritual wisdom. Like Tolstoy, we might ask, are our pursuits truly bringing us peace, or are they simply distractions from a deeper emptiness? This question invites us to reflect on what truly fills the void within. The wisdom of Seneca, who advised, "He who is brave is free," offers a reminder that freedom comes not from possessions or achievements, but from the courage to face life with humility and purpose. By embracing the spiritual clarity embodied by the peasants, Tolstoy found a way out of despair, a path that mirrors Stoic teachings, by encouraging us to focus on what's within our control and find meaning in service to others. Tolstoy's turning point is a call to examine our own lives. Are we tethered to the fleeting promises of wealth and intellect? Or are we grounded in something more enduring? The peasant's faith teaches us the value of simplicity and the power of trusting in something greater than ourselves. Even if we don't turn to religion, we can cultivate purpose and resilience through gratitude, service, and mindfulness, principles that Stoicism emphasizes. Modern Stoicism reminds us to seek meaning not by escaping life's challenges, but by accepting them as opportunities for growth. As Tolstoy learned from the peasants, peace is not found in intellectual mastery, but in living harmoniously with life's trials, accepting them with dignity and courage. Leo Tolstoy, one of literature's greatest minds, grappled with a question that resonates deeply with all of us. What is the meaning of life? His search for an answer was not only shaped by his intellectual pursuits, but also by the simple faith he observed in Russian peasants. As Tolstoy reflected on the gap between his intellectualism and the deep, unwavering faith of these humble people, he began to see that his pursuit of knowledge through philosophy and science had left him isolated, filled with doubt, and disconnected from life's true essence. Despite his many accomplishments, Tolstoy felt an emptiness that reason alone couldn't fulfill. He realized that intellectualism, which he had once seen as the path to truth, felt hollow. In contrast, the peasants who lived without complex theories seemed to move through life with peace and purpose. Their simple faith illuminated a path Tolstoy had missed, a life where meaning comes not from dissecting life but from embracing it with humility, trust, and awe. This wasn't just an intellectual epiphany but a personal revolution. Tolstoy understood that the meaning of life transcends logic and reason, and that perhaps the answer lay in something simpler, more profound. Have you ever found yourself in a similar place? Maybe you've chased success or knowledge, only to feel unfulfilled. Modern life often mirrors Tolstoy's intellectual struggles as we race for external achievements, hoping they will bring clarity, but often feeling that something is still missing. This is where Stoic secrets can help us refocus on what truly matters. Take a modern example, a tech entrepreneur who appears to have it all: money, fame, and influence, yet confides in a friend that they feel empty. Despite their success, they long for the simple joys of childhood, where small acts of kindness and connection brought true happiness. This mirrors Tolstoy's realization. The pursuit of achievements can obscure the deeper, more fulfilling aspects of life, like faith and humility. The Stoic secrets remind us that a meaningful life isn't just about what we achieve, but how we perceive and connect with life. Tolstoy's turning point teaches us that life's meaning is not a puzzle to be solved, but a relationship to be nurtured. This relationship flourishes when we embrace simplicity, gratitude, and faith. The peasant's ability to trust unshakably, even in hardship, challenges us to reflect. Are we overcomplicating our search for meaning? What would happen if we let go of the need to know everything and instead trusted life's rhythm and mystery? These questions invite us to reflect on our own journeys. Could the secret to fulfillment be waiting for us to approach it with the humility Tolstoy learned from the peasants? The timeless takeaway is clear. Humility and faith, whether in life's inherent goodness, a higher power, or simply the process of existence, can offer clarity that intellect alone cannot. You don't need to reject knowledge or ambition to find meaning, but you must avoid becoming a prisoner to them. Life calls us to balance the mind's hunger for answers with the heart's capacity to trust. What would your life look like if you embraced this balance? Could you find joy in the simple and peace in the uncertain? Tolstoy's journey and the Stoic secrets it reveals remind us that sometimes the simplest answers are the most profound, and perhaps they've been within our reach all along. Leo Tolstoy's quest to understand the meaning of life provides deep insights that blend philosophy, spirituality, and timeless human wisdom. His realization that human reason alone could not answer life's ultimate questions was a pivotal moment in his search for purpose. Tolstoy came to understand that the finite material world, no matter how thoroughly examined, could not explain the deeper aspects of human existence. This led him to embrace the infinite, a divine presence beyond human understanding and the limits of earthly knowledge. In shifting his perspective, Tolstoy found that faith, not reason, was the key to transcending life's suffering and apparent meaninglessness. By surrendering to this higher truth, he found spiritual peace and a sense of purpose that surpassed the fleeting nature of material pursuits. This profound shift echoes modern Stoic thought, which recognizes human limitations and encourages alignment with a greater, unshakable truth. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus famously said, "Man is not disturbed by things, but by the views he takes of them." Tolstoy's transformation, from a purely rational worldview to one rooted in faith, resonates with this idea. He accepted that he could not fully control or comprehend the universe, freeing himself from existential despair and embracing the comfort of faith in something beyond his understanding. This lesson remains crucial for individuals today, living in a fast-paced, material-driven world. Faith here is not necessarily tied to a specific religion, but represents trust in something larger, whether it's the natural order, the collective human spirit, or the virtues that guide a meaningful life. Tolstoy's breakthrough reminds us to step back from the chaos of daily life and recognize the limits of reason. In a world obsessed with logic, data, and measurable outcomes, it may seem counterintuitive to trust in the intangible. Yet by doing so, we can cultivate resilience, peace, and clarity. The Stoics, too, embraced a similar higher alignment, often referring to it as living according to nature. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." This acceptance of life's broader design fosters harmony between the self and the infinite, allowing us to navigate life's challenges without being consumed by them. In today's world, modern Stoicism encourages us to balance rational understanding with the humility to accept the unknown. Like Tolstoy, we can find meaning not only through intellect, but by aligning ourselves with enduring truths, whether spiritual or philosophical. Faith in the infinite might mean trusting the unfolding of life, believing in our capacity to endure, or finding value in striving for virtue. As Tolstoy demonstrated, this faith serves as an anchor during times of suffering and uncertainty, helping us realize that life's purpose isn't always clear but is deeply felt when we open ourselves to a higher understanding. For those searching for clarity, Tolstoy's journey offers a powerful reminder. Peace comes not from conquering life's mysteries, but from embracing them with faith and courage. Number 5. Embracing faith and changing his life. 5.1 Leo Tolstoy's journey toward a deeper understanding of life found its anchor in his newfound faith, which became the cornerstone of his existence and a transformative source of strength. This faith provided the peace and purpose that had eluded him during years of despair, allowing him to confront the inevitable difficulties of life with a newfound resilience. For Tolstoy, faith revealed that human suffering, though deeply painful, was not meaningless. Instead, it was a temporary part of a larger, divinely orchestrated plan. This spiritual awakening replaced the nihilism that once consumed him with hope and a sense of direction, reshaping his perspective on the challenges of existence. In this transformation, faith became the lens through which Tolstoy interpreted the world, helping him find meaning even in the darkest moments. His belief connected him to something greater than himself, offering a foundation for his actions and decisions, a foundation built on humility, purpose, and the courage to endure life's trials. The shift in Tolstoy's mindset mirrors the wisdom found in modern Stoicism, which teaches that while we cannot control external events, we can control our response to them. This alignment is evident in the words of Epictetus. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Tolstoy's faith gave him the strength to embrace this principle, allowing him to transform suffering into an opportunity for growth. Through faith, he cultivated emotional and spiritual resilience, grounding himself in a higher purpose that transcended the fleeting pains and pleasures of life. This transformation is not unlike the Stoic call to focus on what is truly within our control: our mindset, our actions, and our ability to derive meaning from adversity. Tolstoy's newfound spiritual clarity gave him a profound sense of connection, helping him navigate the complexities of existence with wisdom and serenity. For us today, Tolstoy's story is a powerful reminder to seek a foundation that provides meaning and purpose amid life's uncertainties. In our modern lives, where material success and endless distractions often fail to satisfy, faith, whether in a divine power, the interconnectedness of humanity, or the pursuit of virtuous living, can offer the grounding we need. Modern Stoicism emphasizes similar principles, urging us to align our actions with higher values and cultivate resilience by embracing life as it is. As Marcus Aurelius reflected, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Tolstoy's embrace of faith reminds us that finding peace is not about avoiding life's challenges but about discovering meaning within them. By looking beyond ourselves and connecting with a higher purpose, we can build the emotional and spiritual fortitude necessary to navigate the complexities of modern life with dignity, grace, and hope. Leo Tolstoy's journey from a celebrated literary figure to a man seeking profound spiritual meaning is a story that challenges us to rethink our own priorities. After years of inner turmoil and questioning the purpose of life, Tolstoy came to a powerful realization that transformed not only his beliefs but his way of living. He abandoned his wealth, status, and the societal expectations that once defined him. Instead, he chose a life of simplicity and humility, rooted in service to others. He saw that true fulfillment wasn't tied to material success or personal accolades, but to a life lived for the greater good. This wasn't just an intellectual shift, it was a radical, practical transformation. Tolstoy poured his energy into helping the poor, sharing his resources and dedicating his days to the well-being of others. He came to believe that the real meaning of life was found in compassion, selflessness, and living in alignment with values that transcended personal gain. His transformation offers a timeless lesson for us today. Think about the modern world, where the race for wealth, recognition, and status consumes so many lives. Consider the story of a high-powered corporate executive who, despite a luxurious lifestyle, feels an aching void inside. One day they decide to step away from their career, simplify their life, and dedicate their time to mentoring underserved youth in their community. Initially, they face skepticism and even criticism from peers, but over time, they find a deep sense of peace and purpose in this simpler, service-oriented life. Their story mirrors Tolstoy's revelation that materialism and the relentless pursuit of success can often distract us from the values that truly bring contentment. Tolstoy's life is a vivid illustration of the Stoic secrets hidden within ancient wisdom and modern experiences alike. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what is within our control, to reject the fleeting allure of external rewards, and to cultivate a life of virtue. Tolstoy's rejection of materialism and his embrace of spiritual simplicity remind us that peace isn't found in accumulating more, but in needing less. How often do we allow the chase for more to rob us of the joy found in what we already have? What would it mean for you to live with less and give more? These questions challenge us to consider what truly matters in our lives. The essence of Tolstoy's journey lies in his belief that living for others brings the greatest fulfillment. His transformation reminds us that life's true purpose isn't about what we achieve or possess, but about how we connect, contribute, and embody values like humility and compassion. By letting go of the need to impress or dominate, Tolstoy found a freedom that material wealth could never provide. The key takeaway is clear. Simplicity, service, and selflessness can unlock a life of genuine peace and purpose. These are the same Stoic secrets that invite us to redefine success, find strength in humility, and discover the profound joy of living for something greater than ourselves. What would your life look like if you embraced this path? Maybe like Tolstoy, you would uncover the deeper meaning that has been waiting all along. Leo Tolstoy's spiritual transformation in his later years had a profound impact, reshaping his life and leaving a lasting legacy. This shift in perspective allowed him to align his actions with his core values, granting him the sense of purpose and fulfillment that had previously eluded him. As Tolstoy recognized the limitations of wealth, status, and intellectual achievements, he shifted his focus toward spirituality, finding meaning in faith, love, and service to others. His faith, while not confined to traditional Christianity, was rooted in a belief in the infinite, an all-encompassing presence beyond human understanding. His spirituality was centered on love, compassion, and the transformative power of human connection. In his writings, Tolstoy shared this journey, offering a broader message about spiritual awakening and the potential for growth in all of us. His legacy teaches us that true fulfillment comes not from external success, but from aligning with a higher, enduring purpose. Tolstoy's spiritual journey mirrors the core principles of modern Stoicism. As Stoic philosopher Seneca noted, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Like the Stoics, Tolstoy found meaning not in external achievements, but in living in harmony with inner virtues. His choice to focus on faith, love, and service instead of wealth and fame reflects the Stoic belief in living with purpose, wisdom, and self-discipline. Modern Stoicism encourages us to transcend ego and worldly desires, fostering inner peace through compassion and connection to something greater. Tolstoy's example reminds us that, although we cannot control external events, we can choose how we respond. Living authentically, with love and humility, brings fulfillment not through success, but through alignment with our deepest values. In today's world, many people struggle with the same sense of emptiness Tolstoy once felt. The modern emphasis on achievement, material success, and personal gain often leads us to neglect deeper aspects of life. Tolstoy's transformation provides a valuable antidote. By focusing on the infinite, the things we cannot control but can still find peace with, he shows that meaning is not about acquiring things, but about connecting with others, a higher purpose, and ourselves. Tolstoy's life underscores the importance of spiritual reflection and service, showing that true fulfillment comes from giving, not accumulating. Echoing Stoic philosopher Epictetus, who said, "It's not what happens to you but how you react to it that matters." Tolstoy's teaching suggests that shifting our focus from external success to inner peace leads to lasting fulfillment. Tolstoy's legacy, rooted in faith and love, reminds us that the search for meaning should extend beyond material pursuits to encompass our spiritual lives. Embracing these truths enriches our own lives and creates a ripple effect of compassion and understanding that can positively influence those around us. Modern Stoicism, much like Tolstoy's journey, teaches us to cultivate inner resilience, live according to our values, and focus on what truly matters: love, faith, and service. In navigating the challenges of today's world, we can look to Tolstoy's example and Stoic wisdom as a guiding light, reminding us that the most fulfilling path is one that transcends the self, leading us to deeper connection, compassion, and purpose. As we reflect on Tolstoy's journey, it's clear that true peace and meaning are not found in wealth or intellectual accomplishments, but in embracing faith, simplicity, and service to others. His life reminds us that personal growth isn't about what we achieve externally, but how we live internally, with humility, purpose, and a focus on what truly matters. How can you apply these Stoic principles in your own life today? Are you ready to simplify, let go of distractions, and focus on what brings true fulfillment? I encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments below. How are you seeking meaning and peace in your life? Remember, the path to personal growth and happiness is a journey, not a destination. Stay tuned and keep striving for a life of purpose with Stoic principles as your guide. Subscribe to Stoic in Your Life for more insights to help you live your best life.